Hey guys, welcome back to Topher Drives and welcome to the 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLE 53 AMG. It's about 8:30 at night. I just had dinner and I'm craving something sweet, so I'm gonna go get some Boba tea in downtown Ann Arbor. And what better car to take on a night like this when it's pitch black than a car made by the brand that has the best ambient lighting? So I figured I'd take this AMG GLE 53 down the highway to Ann Arbor. It's about a 15-minute drive, and I figured I would take you guys with me because I have really enjoyed driving this Mercedes this week, and well, I want to take you guys on a ride and kind of tell you about it. So let's walk you around this car, show you the outside. It really just looks like any other GLE. There aren't too many distinguishable features here for the AMG. We just have some different wheels. We've got red brake calipers. We've got some power bulges in the hood, as they call it. I don't think you get those on non-AMG cars. My ML55 AMG has these, very similar, just these little subtle bulges there in the hood. Of course, we have a turbo badge there on the fender, and around back we've got quad exhaust tips, we've got an AMG badge, and we've got a very mild diffuser down here on the bottom. I hope you guys can see that. This is the first night drive I've shot on this channel, so I'm pretty excited. What better car to do it in than a Mercedes-Benz with purple ambient lighting? Mercedes does it best when it comes to ambient lighting. It's so freaking pretty. This car's got a cool red interior, which I quite like as well. Alcantara steering wheel. We've got some Alcantara trim here on the seats too. Huge screen that goes across. Our cluster and our infotainment screen are all one continuous piece of glass. Otherwise though, pretty nice place to be. Let's go ahead and hit the road and we'll talk more about this car while we are driving. Since this is my channel and I can do whatever I want, I'm going to start in Sport Plus mode because that's what I like to do when I'm in an AMG. Not only Sport Plus, but also manual mode. So this GLE 53 is powered by a 3-liter inline-6 turbocharged engine with a mild hybrid edition. Power is sent to all 4 wheels via a 9-speed auto. And I gotta be honest, I was a little bit skeptical when this car came in because it isn't a full GLE 63. It doesn't have a V8. So I was a little bit worried that it was gonna be kind of underwhelming and understated and kind of muted. But I was wrong. I was very wrong. Wow, that thing is totaled. Focus has seen better days. I was very wrong. If Mercedes is gonna give you the AMG badge, they're gonna make sure that you know it. This thing makes about 429 horsepower, 382, I believe, foot-pounds of torque, and you can certainly feel it. We're going to take this Mustang, actually, is what we're going to do. You won't even see it coming. Put myself back into automatic so we can get the fastest shifts possible. And he's gone. To be fair, he probably didn't know we were racing. This is just like a really big hot hatch. It gives very much, you know, smaller, bitey little Chihuahua AMG 45, whatever they call that thing, the A45 or whatever. You still get the good AMG-ness from this car, even though it's not the full 63. Oh, some proper pops and burbles there from the exhaust. That's how you know that you're in an AMG. Honestly though, once you're just cruising in this car, and we'll go ahead and pass this trailer here, I'm going to put myself back into automatic, back into comfort. Everything settles down, the exhaust quiets down, and it's a really nice experience. You actually are reminded that you're driving a Mercedes and not a crazy hot hatchback. And it's just such an awesome experience being in a Mercedes-Benz at night with this top tier ambient lighting. I mean, it's seriously freaking awesome. Let's go ahead actually back and we'll run through some of the colors because there are other options besides purple. Let me actually set my cruise control before we do this, so we don't. Not 80s. Okay. So we can switch our color here, and I like that Mercedes lets you do this while you're on the move. Not that you should do this if you're driving the car, but if you have a passenger, they're able to adjust the ambient lighting. So there's ocean blue. We're just on purple sky. Here's red moon. Red moon is probably my second favorite. I love this one. This one looks really cool in the S580. Even though this GLE has what appears to be a ton of ambient lighting, if you get in a new S-Class, it's just, you think this is next level? Look at the new S580. It's unbelievable. Here is fire red. That's pretty cool. If you're driving in Sport Plus mode, you can actually set the car to switch into red. Dawn blue, this will give you some yellow as your secondary color. Neat. Here's a sun yellow setting. This will give you like kind of a goldish orange. Nice. The car was doing something there. I didn't know what that was. Jungle green. I really like the green. The green is a very cool jungly feeling, I guess we could say. Color flash. Oh, I skipped glacier blue. Color flash will... I actually don't know what this does. I've never stayed on it long enough to find out. And then color mix will rotate through all of the colors. It's like a rainbow setting. And then here's glacier blue as well. Let's float on color mix for a sec and just rotate through all the colors and see what that's like. I've never driven one of these on color mix. So back into our nav screen so it's a little darker. And let's go ahead and switch back to Sport Plus, manual, turn off cruise control. So this should, in theory, just rotate us through all the colors. Yeah. We don't often drive Mercedes, so I like to spend, as much time as I can in these cars. And even though this isn't the full GLE 63, I think I'm having just as much fun as I would have in that car, because the power level in this car is usable. I know 429 horsepower might sound like a lot, but this is like a big 5,000-pound SUV. It still works as an SUV. I mean, this thing can tow 7,700 pounds. So it is still, a proper go anywhere, do anything car. But it's got a pretty cool soundtrack. I love that AMG switched back to inline sixes. They did V6s for a while, and don't get me wrong, I like a good V6, but not in an enthusiast car. I like a V6 in like the Honda Passport, like that's a great V6. But when I'm in an enthusiast car like this, I don't want a V6. There's something like lackluster and soulless about V6s in my opinion. So I like to have a good inline six, and this is certainly a good one. And I can go around being a child with these pops and burbles, but it's easy to turn it off. You can take yourself out of loud exhaust mode, take yourself out of Sport Plus, and this thing settles down quite a bit. That 9-speed automatic is super smooth as well. Makes for a good experience. Not a big fan of the way these paddle shifters feel. I know that's kind of like a petty complaint, but they feel like they're gonna break. They're like very brittle, and I feel like clicking them like they shouldn't be clicked. They make a good noise though. This car sounds like a Supra and a Focus RS had a baby. We're gonna drop the windows once we get off here, so you guys can hear this car a little bit better. Even though this is a large, heavy SUV, it'll get down in the corners. It's not even squealing. It doesn't care. Oh, yeah. That's unbelievable. Look at this. It does not care at all. was hoping we'd get some pops under that bridge there, and it did not deliver, dang it. This person doesn't know where they're going. What a fun thing. Otherwise, well, let's talk about, here, let's go back into comfort mode, as that is kind of the name of this series, isn't it? What episode is this? I don't even know. Let's talk about something other than this GLE 53. Let's kind of relax, and I'll give you guys a little bit of a fleet update, actually. I've got some bad news, actually. I've got two pieces of bad news. I sold my 364,000 mile E46. I know, throw tomatoes, I'm sorry. It was time for the car to go. I've moved on to other things. I just bought that M Roadster, and I have too many cars. I know that I really wanted to make some videos on that car for this channel, but it just didn't work out. The good thing is there are videos on that car already on the TheTopher channel. I'm sure you guys have all seen those by now. But it just didn't make sense to keep the car. I had no reason for it. It sat outside. It was rotting. I literally put like 300 miles on it total, and it just sat around for a year. So I sold it to my good buddy Dane, which is good because it means that if I do ever absolutely need to go film something on it, I will have access to it. He only lives about 10 minutes down the road, so I know that the car went to a good home. I know he's going to look after it, and all will be well. The other piece of bad news that I have is that I was going out to film the M Roadster 2 days ago, and I just happened to like look under the car, as you do as a BMW owner, before I got into it, and there was a puddle of oil, probably about the size of an acoustic guitar, under this thing, you know, lengthwise and widthwise. And as it turns out, the power steering reservoir exploded. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know what led to it. The only thing I can think of is that the like kind of rapid temperature change we've been having. Last week it was like 40 degrees, and this week it's 70. So I don't know if maybe like the weird pressure temperature change sort of thing like threw the car off and made it freak out. But so the M Roadster is down. I ordered a new reservoir, but I'm worried that maybe some of the power steering lines got damaged, if there was like a weird pressure thing going on. So that's unfortunate. I was planning on filming a video on that car for the TheTopher channel this week, but that is no longer going to happen because I have to wait for it to get repaired. Update on the ML55. Keone's got the new fuel filter in, and it's all reassembly at this point. Everything is fixed. It just needs to be put back together, and hopefully that car will run right. So that's the only piece of good news that I have for you guys. On the other hand, I'm going to switch this back to purple because I want, oh no, I don't want you, but I do want all purple back in this. Yes. Oh, I love it so much. I filmed a few videos for this car for Daily Motor, and I really just gathered that everything in the infotainment is much too complicated. But if you did own this car, it would probably be better, because you just set everything once and forget about it. But I like this set in the settings that it's in now. It's been a good ride. You know, anything with an Alcantara steering wheel. I don't think I've ever disliked a car with an Alcantara steering wheel, where I'm sticking to that. I've yet to have bad impressions on something with... What do they make Alcantara out of? I don't even know. Is it moles? Or is it just a different part of the cow? Or is it raw cow skin? I should look that up. Alright, we're going to drop the windows. Because, and this is for good reason, we're going to be entering a parking structure. We'll have to try out this. Actually, it's worth mentioning. Forgot to mention earlier, this car does have the AMG Performance exhaust. It's about a $1,000 option. So we'll have to test that out, do the proper hot hatch parking structure test. It's a very important test. I always make sure to run it. Did it in the Veloster. I have yet to beat that, but maybe we will today. I doubt it. Hardly anything's as rowdy as the Veloster. It's pretty hard to surpass that. And it is Sunday, so parking is free. Haha, yes. That's what I like to see. Okay, Forgive me for being a menace, guys. Alright, that's a good first impression. I'm just trying to maneuver this thing through here. Wait till we're away from all these cars to do a proper test. I love inline sixes. Wondering if maybe it won't give you burbles in first gear. That is certainly possible. Oh, okay. It does sound really good. Does not seem to want to do any pops or burbles in first gear, so it's not, you can't go much faster in a parking structure. It's quite limited, the speeds you can go in here. What about just like a rev? Oh yeah, that sounds good. Honestly, I don't even think I need the burbles, because the burbles do make quite a bit of a scene. It's actually just kind of a nice, chill ambient. Okay, I think I'm done. One more, just one more. Okay. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up. Not much of an eventful, not a very eventful video here, but hopefully you've enjoyed hanging out with me for a second. They give you a soft limiter. There's only so much you can do. Cool. Well, I'm going to go downstairs, down to the city, and get a bubble tea. But this is where it ends for you guys. We'll take one last look here at the GLE 53. Cool little MB logos there projected off the mirrors. I have had a ton of fun with this car this week. I am sad to give it back. Wow, I did a terrible job parking. I'll probably fix that. Last time I was here, I was in a Hyundai Venue, so I just swept right into the spot. That's going to wrap it up for this pretty quick and brief video tonight. I really just wanted to feature this car on the channel because I enjoyed it so much. But thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to comment below if you've got any questions about the GLE 53 or anything else. I will be sure to answer those. I'll check the comments, make sure to get back to you. But anyways, that'll wrap it up, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.